Better?
All right, let's speed all around.
So drink or don't drink?
Drink.
All right, that is enough.
Walking around, guys, too, please, because the snow is
This isn't PBS.
Go. Miami style, God.
You know, when I visit a new city, I take in a few things before I make my judgment. I take in the intelligence, the respect that people have for one another, and the connection with their environment. In Flagstaff, there was a connectivity, a collaboration, and a willingness to try and do the right thing when it comes to Mother Earth, and equally, push the envelope of the cutting-edge technologies. When we pulled into the airport, there were two gates, one in and one out. Our 9-passenger van was parked right in front, loading out huge cases. And not a single hassle from TSA. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Well, I've been here for a few days and I still have not heard a horn beep at someone yet. In 1958, Flagstaff enacted the first lighting ordinance to protect the night sky from light pollution, way ahead of their time. In 2001, they became the first international dark sky city.
This is Houston, over.
We threw somebody in space, landed them pretty much where we said we were gonna.
Yep.
Right? And we did it all with like spitballing it from Earth on spots like this.
Right. Everything was wiped clean. It looked like the moon.
Projects and facilities like the Cinder Lake Crater Field were happening all over the country, and to have it here in Flagstaff makes the city all that much cooler.
We're gonna get to drive the lunar rover around today?
Unfortunately, that's now a museum piece. And
So where are we today?
We're at the Cinder Lake Crater Field. This is one of the sites where they train the Apollo astronauts. And you can see that they've actually replicated this whole field to look like an exact part of the moon, the Apollo 11 landing site.
Houston, Columbia on the high gate, over.
Roger, the EVA is progressing beautifully. They're setting up the flag now. In the 1960s, live TV was a new technology. And the engineers were not very comfortable with having that on the Apollo landers as being part of the required mission. But when they started doing the training out here, and they had the astronauts pretending to talk back to Houston, and the only thing they had was a radio communication. They very quickly realized they couldn't keep track of where the astronauts were, what was going on. If there was a safety issue, they couldn't help them. They needed that live TV. Columbia, this is Houston, AOS, over.
This is the closest I'll ever be to the surface of the moon, so I had to ask them a simple question.
So we're 100% sure we went to the moon.
Yep.
Yes.
We can't fake those rocks.
You can see with more recent spacecraft that we've sent there, you can see the materials we've left on the surface. You can see the rover tracks. You can't deny that.
Ah, the beautiful incongruity of Flagstaff. One moment I'm walking on prehistoric volcanic ash fields, and the next, I'm snowboarding at 9,000 feet on mountains that are part of the San Francisco Peaks, which are held sacred to 13 different Native American tribes that reside in this region. What a place.
Yeah, hold 1 second, because I'm getting dehydrated.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in Flagstaff?
I've been in Flagstaff just about 22 years now. So I grew up in Wisconsin, wanted to pursue a career in motorcycle mechanics, so moved to Phoenix, did that for a couple of years, and then decided to finish college, and ended up here in Flagstaff at NAU.
The alternative path is, you're proof of that, right? That you don't have to get out of high school, look at the handbook, say, okay, let's go to college, knock out the 4-year degree, because that's the key to success.
Right.
Not every path is that way.
I wasn't ready to really apply myself to that education. I was much more interested in having fun and riding motorcycles. So I needed to get that out and then apply myself to school.
Meet Brian Streeney, the president and CEO of Machine Solutions. It's one of the world's leading specialty equipment manufacturers that produce incredibly complex machines that automate a process of folding balloons around catheters that deliver life-saving stents to our fast food infected bodies.
So this is the multiple levels that occur in order to make that what seems to be super simple catheter with a balloon on it.
Right.
Right, so when you buy an Apple computer, somebody makes the power supply, somebody makes the touch screen, somebody makes the pad, but when you get the Apple computer delivered to your house, you think it's an Apple product.
Right, we're gonna help them take their raw materials, their pellets or whatnot that they're making a catheter from and create a product around that.
Yeah, a product that saves lives.
Product that saves lives.
It's awesome. So clearly, you're a talented guy. You started out as a motorcycle mechanic, so you're good with your hands.
You know, that's again, it's my love for machines and working on my own cars, motorcycles, and that type of thing. And, you know, the machine solutions fit for me was very natural. This machine here is a balloon pleat and fold system. So an operator would sit in front of this machine and place a catheter here in the handling system, and then the machine's going to shuttle that catheter into a pleat head, take that inflated balloon, pleat it into 3 or 5 pleats, and then transfer it to the fold head where it's then folded.
And why is it important to have a pleat on a balloon?
You want to be able to deploy that stent evenly and make sure that it's not shifting along the length of the catheter as it's being deployed, and that it lands exactly where the physician intends it to.
Got it.
So with having the multiple pleat heads on here, it gives them the ability to switch between product sizes on the fly without retooling the machine.
That's the opening of 007.
Yeah, pretty much. That's ambition. Skinning up. Yeah.
That's cardio right there.
Oh, yeah.
That's 7,000 feet.
Oh, no, we're at 9,000 something.
Oh, we're at 9 right now? All right, I feel better. Are there any stories ever at Machine Solutions about a family member or a member of MSI had a procedure done by a catheter that?
Sure. Oh, yeah, definitely. Actually, there's an individual at our Steger facility in Inman, South Carolina, who, you know, when we hired her, first time I met her, her name's Kat, she was, you know, hey, you know, I have three stents, 3 coronary stents, and, you know, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now, or much less working for you if I hadn't had those procedures, you know, and they literally saved her life, you know. So, you know, having that kind of connection, not only, you know, within the company, but knowing the family members and things that we've been able to touch through, you know, our machines, and then obviously our customers' devices is huge.
You moved from Wisconsin, that's a little far from here, and you were in Phoenix fixing motorcycles, and you came here and you met your wife here?
Yep.
And you had your kids here?
Yep.
And you became president here. Would that have happened anywhere else?
Probably not.
Brian serves as that reminder that there is not a path. Just as many people have found fulfillment and success, regardless of your definition of it, and they took the path less traveled.
I guess you're about the only person around that doesn't have TV coverage of the scene.
This brings me back to my childhood because the LEM, the lunar module, I know they call it LM, but I grew up with it at LEM, was built at Grumman Aerospace, and my dad worked there on the LEM. And I remember in 68, 69, going into Bethpage in the hangar and seeing the LEM right there. I think that started leading me to my geekdom and the love of science. I remember watching in 69 when they landed and sitting up trying to watch it on black and white TV. It was very, very cool. So being here is sort of special for me. I like that a lot.
You're not alone in being inspired by the Apollo missions. I was inspired by Apollo, but it was not at all in my lifetime.
Are we the only ones here, or are there other life forms out there? Your opinion, other than what we have no proof of.
Well, I'd say that certainly that's what drives us in this field. You know, we're looking at when and where life might have arisen in the solar system. But I think, you know, that's an open question, and we're still looking beyond.
That was totally corporate.
Yep.
Potential open question. Well done.
Yep.
So, your thoughts?
Well, we are government employees on this clock. You're going to get official answers. But no.
But we're still looking.
We're still looking.
Right, so
That's a really interesting question.
We're still, and the fact that we're still looking thinks that we think there are.
We don't understand the other planets unless we study ours, but we can bring knowledge from the other planets back to understand ours as well. It's probably going to work the same way for biology.
I like that answer. Thanks.
While I've always been a person who enjoys being able to argue both sides of a discussion, but I'm not really sure if the moon landing was a Hollywood set or if we were really able to land men on the moon with technology at the time that was equal to the modern-day coffee machine. But I guess for now, I'll have to be satisfied with my lovely hosts from the USGS and their corporate answers. Thank you, True Future.